Alright, I know you've been waiting since last year, but I'm finally back and I have some more information for you. Alright, so first off, the universe thinks it's a funny fucker and thought this would be a great opportunity to see how many triggers it takes for me to get triggered. And so this is actually the third time I have recorded this. However, at least now I need to fucking... Oh, excuse me. I keep swearing. That's terrible. Anyway, I need to fucking talk less shit. Alright, moving on. Okay, if you're having a run of bad luck or being triggered heaps this month, it's time to stop bullshitting to yourself. So December has been the warm-up lap of the great karma debt repayment, and no one gets out of it. So I realise I'm going to correct a couple of things from the last video, but I won't tell you each time. I'm just going to do it. Anyway, you'll figure it out. So unintentional and intentional karma can be cleared through awareness and acceptance without judgment. And it has to be without judgment, because the minute you're feeling bad or holding a grudge, or you're just reaccumulating the debt, all right? So no judgment. It doesn't exist, all right? So if you can pinpoint where the self-sabotage was and recognize what makes it self-sabotage, and if you can then start changing the automatic behavior of that self-sabotage, like that's how you clear debt. If you're making an active, like if the end of February comes and you haven't changed the behavior, but you're doing things like recognizing when you do it, and if you're putting active steps into place to change the behavior, that's still a ticket in to New Earth, all right? So no one, Rome wasn't built in a day. Well, maybe it was. Who knows, really? Anyway, so keep that in mind, all right? You just have to be trying. You just have to be moving towards your most authentic self. That's all the universe is asking. That's how you get in. All right. So quickly, physical harm works on an exchange, because if you have a physical injury, for example, you can't just recognize how your clumsy, how your carelessness has created a pain, that you can't just be like, oh, now my finger's better, right? So in cases like that, it will be in exchange for other areas of health that can improve, right? So that's good. Instant karma. So if you get a hit of anxiety, if you pay attention, if it's anxiety because you're worried about how someone's going to react to what you're going to tell them, you're attributing the anxiety to the wrong issue, all right? So the worry is a trigger, and it's basically just the universe saying, yo, by worrying how they're going to react, you're going to change how you say what you're going to say, and you're going to limit their chance of understanding properly, which then restricts the options that they can consider to make, which is effectively robbing them of their free will, all right? So the anxiety isn't your worry about if they're fucking smart enough or not to understand. Like, that's not up to you to decide. Like that's... Anyway, so the anxiety is because you are because it's karma for judging the person as whatever. All right. And then the other one, which is fairly much instant karma, is when you're not willing to see that you need to improve a skill, you're not going to get the chance to improve it, and so you're not going to hit your potential with it, and that is robbing your own free will, because you can't... Anyway, I'll go into more of those in details because this will definitely not be just the 2 videos, let's be honest. Yeah, so judgment in general, but like if you're basing something on your own point of view, it limits the accuracy of the situation and it's instant false, like timelines come into existence, instant setup. Alright, so with wishes being a curse, so making a wish and swapping that destiny is bringing a false option into existence. I think I just said that, but so the thing, like the energy that it sends out will, for example, I wish for, so it's for someone to get a boyfriend. That energy can be received unconsciously as priming the brain to think, to follow, like, all right, so say you wish they had the boyfriend. Anyway, the energy goes out. So then the person's on TikTok scrolling and there's a reading and they see, a divine counterpart's coming in. And where the last time they were on TikTok, they would have just take what resonates and toss the rest, where they could use their discernment accurately. Now there's energy and their brain is primed to miss the cues, and they may start convincing themselves that, yes, my divine counterpart's about to come in, and then they start making choices but based on that, and they're just getting further and further into a false timeline, which, so as the ripples get more cemented, the debt for that karma grows bigger as well. All right, so, and then clearing that comes back around to check, like actually acknowledging what those ripples got created and where the sabotage. Anyway, oh, holy crap. Maybe that's the key. I have to record every video 3 times to actually have time left over. Yeah, no. It'll take me too long to think about something to throw in here. So I'm just going to end it here and see y'all in part 3.